All right, it's roundup time. That means we take a look at multiple games in one review. Most of the time, these are games that may be a little shorter than a long review would give us, so we don't do a full teach. I mean, I do an overview of the game and a quick how to play. I mean, essentially, these games are short enough to where you can get the how to play from the overview that I give you. With actually Toy Battle being a pretty full teach of the game, minus the other boards. But anyway, we're also taking a look at what I reviewed 5 years ago. Now, specifically one game that I reviewed and see how I think about it now. So let's take a look at Toy Battle. Toy Battle first. All right, this is Toy Battle. It looks a lot like a Kids Commands and Colors, but it's not quite. So essentially, you're going to be taking your tiles of toy battlers here. They have different numbers and different powers. The higher the number, like the Tyrannosaurus here, there's no power. But the numbers have to do with stacking. So on your turn, you're going to draw 2 troops into your area here. You're going to place one on the board connected to your HQ. Then for further placements, let's just place some out. They would have to be in a connected line from your HQ. So I could not place here out of the gate without a special power that lets me. You'll trace them around. As you start surrounding these areas with the stars, you'll collect them. So if we have one here, this counts here, 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 and here. That gives you 3 stars. The winning condition on this one is 7 stars or occupy the opponent's HQ. Each of the different powers is different. You'll be doing things like discarding enemy tokens off the board. You'll be drawing more into your rack. You'll be putting, moving where you want to. You'll be being able to play twice in a row with the green army person. So there's a lot of cool different powers there. Now, the other thing is, if, for instance, this was a 1 here, because this is a 7, I can place it on top of anything with a lower number. The Joker is the only tricky one because you can place it over anything, but anything can place it over it. So in a pinch, the Joker is going to let you take out that T-Rex for a second in order to get the surroundings you need. But first person to get the victory points based on each map or get to the HQ wins the game. That is Toy Battle. All right, that's Toy Battle. Now, first of all, this game looks incredible, right? I love it. It's just an adorable looking little game, right? The toys are fun. Like, you can tell that they're leaning into some things, you know, maybe Toy Story, maybe just more generic toys we had as kids, but it's very young kid toys, which I thought was pretty cool. I love the fact that it looks like you're playing a Commands and Colors game because you both have the little wooden racks and you're kind of placing things out there, even though the rules don't necessarily work like that. The whole, like, keeping the stretch from your HQ out there, except for the monkey, you can break the rules and then you can pull stuff off the board, have to backfill it. I think it's fantastic, and the rule book being only 3 pages long, or 3, double pages, is fantastic. To me, it's just a fun little quick game that I think I'm going to be able to play with my daughters, and Carla and I also enjoy too. So what a cute game. The different maps make it really cool too because it adds some spice. Where the first one is pretty basic, pretty straightforward, but the other ones kind of add a lot of spice to it, which I really enjoy. So that is Toy Battle. If you haven't played it yet, go check it out. Coming up next is Pickleball Dice. Now, I love pickleball, like legit. It's just a fun game. It's like the best of ping pong meets the best of tennis. It's good for the knees, it's good workout. Without being too over the top, but I love it. So when I saw Pickleball Dice, I was like, naturally, a game that's a sport turned into a dice game has to be a winner, right? No. How do you do a dice game of an active, quick, fast sports game? Well, this one, you're rolling dice, you're moving the ball based on adding up certain numbers, and then if you get other certain numbers. So I think this game is it's out of bounds. And the good thing about pickleball is you can have something go out of bounds, play it, and then call it. That's how I feel about this. I thought it looked out of bounds, played it, called it out of bounds. So Pickleball Dice, not for me. I love pickleball. I think there's some great products that they're selling with this Pickleball Dice company. Just not for me. So, it is what it is. Last of the games on the list right now this week is Tucana Builders. Now, if you know anything about me, I love Trails of Tucana. It's one of my favorite flip and write games of all time. It's super simple. Flip over 2 cards, connect them with your pages. This time, though, you're dealing with pre-printed tiles and placing them out on the board onto certain places, and you're just trying to connect colorful animals back to their base. So gone are the extra bonuses. In my mind, I can't decide if this is a more streamlined or actually a more difficult version of Trails of Tucana, but let's take a look at Tucana Builders right now. All right, this is Tucana Builders. Essentially, you'll notice down here, it looks a lot like Trails of Tucana, but instead of building paths with a roll-in, right, you're going to be adding these tiles using a similar mechanic. Instead of flipping 2 cards, you're going to flip 1 card over each time with the different terrain types. You'll then come over here and choose a random tile with all the different tile types and place it on your board where the terrain is. Essentially, there are these types of tiles in the box and that many of them. Your goal is to connect the colorful symbols to the tiles that it matches. Now, the setup is based on a setup card as well as setup fish, which is randomized. Now, when you score, you're gonna score twice. At the end of round 1 and the end of round 2, you're gonna move your scoring. You're gonna basically follow the path out and count that many symbols. For our red right there, that would be 1, 2, 3 snake symbols connected to that hut. So that hut's worth 3 points. Over here, this red, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if toucans are in the path, they are wild as well. So that's actually 6 right there, including that toucan. You're going to count these points at the end of round 1 and at the end of round 2. And if you're feeling especially frisky, you can try the advanced cards, which will give you points for connecting certain huts and connecting certain things to all your huts. That is how you play Tucana Builders. And Dolly did that mid-game.
So that's Tucana Builders. Now, again, I think obviously the production's nicer here because it looks nice. The boards look good. Still thin paper on that, but I think I really come down on the side of, in some ways, this is more complex than Trails of Tucana, as in the difficulty of being able to space your stuff out a little more appropriately is a lot harder than because the tiles have the pre-printed roads on them. Whereas in Trails of Tucana, you can just draw the road between it. So I think in that way, it's actually more difficult. Whereas it's less complex because there's fewer bonuses and things like that. But I really like how different this feels while clearly having some similarities. So I'm a big fan of this. I think Tucana Builders is a really, really fun game. If you had to put me to the test and say, okay, which one are you going to pick? If you have to pick one off the shelf and play it, I'm probably still going to pick Trails of Tucana. Not necessarily just because I like the game better, but because the setup is done. Like the game's already set up, so there's that plus side. But I do like Tucana Builders. I think it's really well done. I think it handles what it, purports to be, a more gamified version of Trails of Tucana. So big fan of this. Check that out. Now, let's take a look at a game I reviewed 5 years ago. Now, 5 years ago, 2020, things were different on the Dice Tower. I was hosting Board Game Breakfast in the mornings remote. Sometimes I would do Q&As. I had a great series where I would interview designers, and then just things, people have gotten busy, more people have come on board, which is great. I love that. But 5 years ago, I was taking a look at Twilight Struggle versus 1989 versus 1960. You can go check this video out. Just type in that, Twilight Struggle versus 1989 versus 1960 with Bryan. First time I introduced my Solid Snake voice, which made a reappearance in the Metal Gear Solid video. This is Snake. It's fantastic. Go watch those videos. But the reason I brought this up is because Twilight Struggle is still one of my favorite games of all time. It is phenomenal. I'm not going to give you an overview here. You can go watch one of my very early reviews. It's one of my favorite I ever did when I would do a lot more reenactments. But Twilight Struggle is one of my favorite games still of all time. 1989 is good. It's not as good because it's a little tighter timeline, and I love the entire Cold War. It's literally my favorite historical period to study other than first century Jerusalem. It's fantastic, right? So what can I say? If you haven't played Twilight Struggle and you like two-player games, what are you doing? It's time. It's time to play Twilight Struggle. Yes, it looks like a textbook. It looks like a high school textbook learning activity, but my gosh, this game is good. So that is 4 games, 3 that are current, and 1 that is wildly old, right here on the Dice Tower. I'm Bryan Drake with this roundup.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Bassel.